I see myself in the eyes of a vulture. Sometimes I hear my own voice like a howl. 'Cause I'll fight.
Hey, hi, welcome to Share Your Scars talk show. I am Vicki, your host, and today we're going to be talking about some things that you're going to be able to relate to because it's something we all can relate to. Addiction, overcoming, and Break the Chains is the title of our show today. And it's about breaking the chains of addiction, breaking the chains of bondage. And today with me, we have myself, Vicki, and we have Kevin, Elena, and they're with Launching Point. And our guest today is Mandy Rudolph, who is one of the co-founders with Break the Chains Coalition. And Mandy is here to talk with us about the charity, the process, where it came from, and then we're going to talk about addiction and overcoming. So I'd like to welcome Mandy to the show. We'll give her a nice little welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very nice to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So Break the Chains, we met, Elena and I and Linda and Launching Point, we met you last year, and then you invited us to Break the Chains Festival. So why don't you share with what Break the Chains is about, the coalition, how it started, how the festival, what was behind it? Because I think we all struggle with things, and I think it's important to know what it's all about. It's a very important thing.
Well, I'm from a very small town, very rural, Port Allegheny, Pennsylvania, and we seem to be under a dark cloud. A lot of people suffering with addictions, a lot of depression, a lot of oppression. It just seems very dark. And in our church, we had two young men within a couple months of each other. One had drug addictions, and he passed away as a result of that. And then we had one that had committed suicide. And so it was really near and dear to our hearts, and we really wanted to make an impact. And, in our area, we weren't talking about it. We would deal with it when it happened, and it got swept under the rug. And if you're not going to bring it into the light, nothing is going to change.
That's right. Yeah.
And so instead of just doing a one-time benefit, we decided to come up with a festival where we could bring it into the light and offer hope and get people counseling if they were looking for that, looking for inspiration, looking for God. We just wanted to make a difference.
That's fantastic. So the first festival was in 2017?
Yes.
And that was in September?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in September. We had no idea what we were doing. We just went into it blind. We had started the process in May, and we had it by September. And it was amazing how everything just came together in that time. People were so willing to get on board and help us. We had donations and people willing to come and speak and come and sing. It was just great.
That's fantastic. That's really good. We met at Creation Fest, all of us, the group that's here today, Kevin, me, Elena, Caitlin, Linda. We all met you and a few others, and I was really impressed with how much all of you wanted to help people, and not even being a formal organization or charity. And if I remember correctly, it's you, your brother Dave, Lynn, and Chesney, and then you have a new individual, Christina. And you all basically just dedicate your time, talent, and you're in the process of becoming a 501c3?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We're applying for that to become a nonprofit status. We're trying to get as many fresh ideas as we can. We're looking for people to help us along the way, such as your group. Give us some understanding of how we can change things to make things accessible for people. We want to just bring hope. That's what we want to do, is bring hope.
So when is the festival this year?
This year, it's August 29th and 30th.
Okay.
Prior to this year, we did a one-day event, and this year we are adding a 5K run, and so we're doing a 2-day event, a Friday and a Saturday.
Okay. So if there's people watching, we're from New Jersey. We're about 5 hours from you. People come from Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. How can they get involved with either donating their talents. Like there could be a band watching right now or a speaker that's overcome some kind of addiction that says, hey, I want to donate my time and talent. How can they get in touch with you to do that? And how, we'll go with that one first. How can people get in touch and say, hey, I want our charity to give back and donate or help?
We have an Instagram page and we have a Facebook page. They're both under Break the Chains. So if you get right on there, Break the Chains. We also have an email, breakthechainsfestival@gmail.com. So you're
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a band, a group, I'm wearing Bread of Stone shirt. You heard the music in the beginning from Bread of Stone. I believe that's one band that you're asking to be part of it.
We are asking.
We're asking, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's other bands out there, and maybe you're in a place where you can donate your time. And you know, finances aren't a thing, but maybe you're not, and you know, they would work with you and say, okay, what's your budget? We all want to help each other, so if you can help them with something, whatever band you might be, that'd be great. If you have, you know, talented people, that would be excellent. And also, how about volunteers? Are you looking for people to volunteer in any way?
Yeah, we can't do it with without our volunteers. We have so many people just stop by and ask how they can help, which has been great. Okay. Without them, we can't make it happen. Okay.
So that's this is Mandy of Break the Chains Coalition, and Break the Chains Festival is this just before Labor Day weekend 2019. And now just kind of want to segue a little bit so we can talk about, you kind of open the doors today about, you know, breaking those chains of addiction. What happens when we don't break those chains? You know, chains literally hold us bondage. They keep us attached to not so good things. And I think all of us have had loss in our lives. You know, we had a very dear friend of ours in our charity who took her own life. My mother took her life. We all know somebody that has taken their life, either on purpose in the sense of suicide or accidental through overdose. It's heartbreaking. It's not something we will want to help, and that's what Break the Chains is doing. That's what Launching Point does. That's what we all do. We all volunteer our time to help other people in hopes that they don't go through those things. So just want you guys to share a little bit. I know Bonita was a best friend of yours, and you want to share a little bit about that. The you know, it's like, you know, not putting you on the spot, but it's like, you know, we lose somebody that we care about and we love, and we can't change that. We can't change the past, but we can change maybe how we go forward in helping other people, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, I was definitely in denial at first. I didn't want to believe it, and then just having my uncle also passed away by suicide when I was 5. But just to deal with it, it's just heartbreaking. And at first I was like, maybe I wasn't there for her. Maybe I wasn't a good enough friend. But it wasn't about that. It's what she was going through. And she felt that was the best way to end her pain. Yes, I do wish I was there for her, but she's not in any more pain anymore. I believe she's happy where she is.
Kevin? Anyone that you've...
I lost an uncle when I was very young to suicide. I feel a certain kinship, a certain closeness to him, so I did get a tattoo. Actually, it says rest in peace, George, because that was his name, on my left leg, and unfortunately he too suffered with mental illness as I do, and actually, in all honesty, recently I did have a suicide attempt myself, and through the miracle of friendship, I was saved, and I did not succeed. I did fail, and I'm quite happy I did fail at that. So it's quite eye-opening, and it's a good. It's not good, but it's a real eye-opener when you see that there's so much to lose, and there's so much at stake when you do try to commit suicide, and it's just so much to lose and so sad. And without the help of my friends, I would not have to be here. I would not be here today to tell you guys about that.
And friendships, relationships, that's what it's all about. And I know me personally, I didn't really have a lot of friends or the right friends. And breaking those chains is friends that really care are going to get in your business. They're going to call the police on you if you're in a situation that intervention otherwise wouldn't happen. We talk about intervention, we talk about intervening. Oh, someone has to do something. Well, sometimes that something is the finger pointing, pointing at someone else. Those fingers are pointing back at you. Sometimes we are the intervention. And, breaking the chains, breaking the cycle, how do you do that? When you're struggling with mental illness, you have different things going at you. You have different things happening. You have your different thoughts, different bullets, shots, if you will, coming into your mind, bullets of the enemy. Anything that's negative, that's like a bullet coming against you. That's like, it could be a thought. Oh, I should take my life. Where'd that come from? So these things can happen just out of nowhere, but it's really not out of nowhere. Who are we hanging out with? Who are we talking to? What are we listening to? What are we eating? What are we drinking? That all has a lot to do with who we are. And, we met Mandy, we actually met Dave. Share the story how we met Dave and how we got associated, because this is kind of funny. This is, we're all about loving more and judging less, but I was a big judgmenter in this.
You were. We met at Creation, and we were at our campsite, the vendor campsite, so Dave was snooping around in the wrong section of Creation, creeping out by us, and I go into my tent and he sees me. He asks if I'm part of this self-injury support resource center, and I said yes.
Because we had a sign outside of our campsite. Right.
It was right outside our tents, and he was talking to me for about 5-10 minutes. Then Vicky comes running over thinking I got lost or I got hurt or someone stole me. But here I am talking to this man who's bald. You
know what they say about bald men?
And that's how we met. And he wanted to exchange information with us. He talked about Break the Chains to me and Vicky, and right then and there he's like, I want you guys at Break the Chains.
Yeah. And then I approached later,
and
Vicky said, oh wait, are you with the bald creepy guy? I said, yes, that's my brother.
So, sometimes we're all about loving more, judging less, but I tend to judge a little, and I think that was a lesson learned. Like sometimes we will pass judgment just like, oh, well, they don't look a certain way or they don't act a certain way. I know so many people, such as my big Bob Bear over here, that may look bigger, they may look intimidating, or but they have hearts of gold, just like Dave does and did. And sometimes we have to break those chains also in what we think of other people or how we think they should be. Oh, well, they're just wearing a t-shirt and jeans and they look... We have to be so careful. And I catch myself, and I'm like, okay, he's a bald, creepy looking man. No, he's not creepy looking. He just...
Wearing a hot dog t-shirt.
Right, wearing a hot dog t-shirt.
Wearing a hot dog t-shirt.
Relationships can be cultivated in all sorts of different ways. And I'm really thankful that he, was poking around. He talked to her because this is how it started. So one charity helping another. Bands helping other bands. There's music bands out there that got their start because another band said, hey, why don't you open for us, or we'll give you a shot. It's people helping other people. And when you see someone struggling in addiction, like Mandy was saying, they're from a small town, there's a lot of different vices going on there. And I'm a big believer, if you don't provide an alternative, somebody's going to find something to do. And so once you take away the drugs, the alcohol, the other stuff, you have to replace it with something else. And that's what we do here at Launching Point. We have a lot of stuff. Like Valentine's Day, there's a lot of people, their feelings get hurt. They think, oh, it's all about couples and so forth. We have Love Day, which celebrates love all the time. So we just will have something called Love Day. We have different parties. We find a reason to do something for everyone to keep everyone involved. And so, like with you starting off Break the Chains, you're starting off charity. You might seem like you're small, but never despise small beginnings. You could have something starting right now and you're like, oh, well, we're just going to do this festival. Well, we're just going to do, you're reaching out. They didn't think, like Kevin, Elena, Linda, Caitlin, our main volunteers right now. We've had many people of the past, but, people come, they go. You're going to have that. You're starting off small, but you're doing big things.
Right.
And you're touching people, you're reaching people. If one person watches this show and they get impacted and they go and help other people, it's worth it.
Right. You're right. We've said that before. David has always gone to Creation Fest, which is a huge festival. Thousands of people are there. So when we started this event, I remember him saying, oh, well, we didn't have many, people the first year. And I came around the corner and was like, did you see all those people that were there? So it's, and we have to check that. If one person gets help, then all of the efforts that you put forth have made it worth it. It affects their family, that affects their job, it affects everything.
Absolutely.
It's like a domino effect.
Absolutely. Well, as we're, I think pretty much have said what we wanted to say today, but as we start to wrap up, any additional comments that you all feel?
No, we covered a lot.
Okay, we did. I think it's important, get involved. Kevin shared about a friend intervening. Elena talked about her reaching out to her friend. What Mandy's doing. Get involved. Get someone in your life. If you feel like you don't matter, I think we've all been there. Thoughts come. They come like fiery darts. They just, what was I? Gotta speak to that. Say, no, go for me. I'm not going to think on that. Call a friend. Well, I don't like to pick up the phone. Find help. There's help out there. Our website is launchingpoint.org. You can search Launching Point in Google. We talked today with Mandy of Break the Chains Coalition, and you can Google Break the Chains Coalition or Break the Chains. Look to Instagram. There's help out there. I strongly encourage you to get help when you need it, before you need it. Sometimes, we talk about intervention. That's usually a last resort. If you're sitting there and you're thinking, wow, this really resonates with me. I want to get involved. I want to help. But I'm not 100%. Well, I feel a little broken. Last time I checked, chopped up pieces of crayon still work. They can still color. And a broken pencil, if it has a point on the end, can write. You can always sharpen it. So my point is that you have purpose. Everyone has a plan. Everyone has a purpose. And you don't want to quit before the miracle. I appreciate you watching today. And we have lots of resources at launchingpoint.org. And I want you to know to stay strong. Good things are happening to you. Thanks for watching.